Uh, yeah, this seems to be alive at least. My chat maybe is having a couple good moments if that's okay. Yeah, it did that thing where it messed up the stream key again. I don't know why it does that. All I need to do is close OBS and open it back up and it works, but it's annoying when it happens. I don't know if this went through, so I'll just reread this line. We might have lost the Mia line in the interim. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Which was an objection, which is why we're at objections 4 now. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up a bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as the Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. I was going to say Buckley's is the true Cold Killer X. Oh, do we have? I don't think I have a cold medicine that is my go-to. This would be like whatever's in the house, really. Crime photo 2 added to the court record. Cold Killer X added to the court record. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad. Your slogan is, it tastes awful, but it works. I mean, that's how medicine is supposed to work. Cold Killer X. The victim's watch stopped at the time of death. Yeah, 3 p.m., okay. Cold Killer X, found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Mr. Wright's fingerprints. This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks. My poor fingerprints. God damn it, Grossberg, why are you this way? Witness testimony. What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. That's right. Please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell any more lies. Alright, well, time to press everything. The truth is, I went because he called me. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. Bad Miss Dolly possibles. My, it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart. What was that for me? Oh, I'm so sorry. Just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. I don't... Is it... Why did Bia slap Grossheart? Is it Grossberg. Is it because that was like a disgusting example of someone having a puppy dog crush and she's like, I need to cause violence? I mean, I've been there, honestly. And it's funny too, because like in the right context for a show or something, that's like really nice to see. But there's other times when it's just like you're seeing two people who are like young and in love and discovering that, and it's just like, oh god, no. Humanity should just die out instead. Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Again, her eyes in that picture look like they are cross-hatched. Like there's depths there that will swallow a man. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those bestie love triangles, I see. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. Ah, Phoenix, he was probably also a drug dealer then, if they called him the alchemist of IVU. Phoenix right, Miles broke my heart being an evil prosecutor, so I needed to find a girl to distract myself, and pretend I was into art instead of law. Alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. How fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details? Timing meeting of the pharmacology department, forget about it. About timing of the meeting. I think it's pharmacology we don't probably care about. So you are absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock, we split up. So what was it that you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? Wish that were true. Then later, I went back. I found him lying there. So, you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Oh, well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up? Oh, Phoenix. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. I don't know, Phoenix is usually a pretty good boy. I could see him being that way. It's not the case here, but... I've been taking Cold Killer X for the past 2 or 3 days. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah. I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly. Just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Mmm. Mini omelets are magically delicious.
Why did you punch me in the jaw?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Damn, Mia, what is this? Are you having a hard time getting some? Because I have a hard time believing that.
Well,
I don't know. I can't seem to find any contradictions.
why is it exactly what I'd call a natural born life after all? But still, you can't have him continue this process.
I know. What can I do?
But I think that he must still be having something. Information. Right now, what's the information we need more than anything else?
Alright, so we need to press this one again. Oh, you asked about the pharmacology department. Oh, T. So Meg's right as a dumbass and Mia is manly abusive. Lois can never just be, like, chill. Actually. Maybe we'll touch on that statement when you actually get around to investigations, too. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah. And we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve. Oh, wait, I already read all this. Yeah. Ask about the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, Edward's dad has his own stuff going on. He's kind of funny, actually, but we'll get there. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right. Oh, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables. Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere.
I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death.
The Apollo's just a little cocky, I guess. His mom was 10 back, so I was about to say. Oh, man. There's so much going on with Apollo. We just need to pretend. He needs to go away and let Athena take over. She does not have, like, 10 backstories to make herself complicated. And she is the way better prosecutor. Although, who is... Whatever, it's not either.
But then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Oh, let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
Hey, Paul, I think it's time for him to move on after Spirit anyway. Oh, you mean after he stole Phoenix's newest daughter? To be his, like, fourth love interest? But no.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Give us the Athena Sykes trilogy. Will never happen. No. I do hope in the 7th game they let her do something. Like, because in fairness, it's not like Apollo was meant to have his own trilogy, too. But they just pretended like that was his trilogy because you can kind of pretend that there was a character arc by design in those 3 games. Oh. Athena Blackwell, the sequel, on a better case next time that matters. Yeah. I mean, they must want me to do the picture that's with the power thing, right? Although it makes more sense to say it was the pharmacology thing, but yeah, that's so much about it. Your Honor.
Well, that's right.
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
Well, that would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Wright, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
I don't know. Maybe it's this goddamn sparking in the picture freaking... Like, come on, guys. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here.
God damn it, Judge. I know you exist not to...
I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Wright, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon?
I don't know. Maybe it's right freaking here. Well, naturally, it's right here.
What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. Because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable?
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Now. The victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant.
That much is certainly true.
Wait a second. Yeah, I guess it's kind of far down there.
Yes, that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
No. Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, The victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
Ah, you mean?
Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Border. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. We can focus. We're done.
Mr. Grossberg.
My remarks never lie. The show is over, Mia.
God, Grossberg, why are you so gross? Well, hey, Donnie.
That boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, welcome, Donnie. This is the beginning of the third game in this series. Yeah, why were your two first case so high profile? Well, not that I think she ends up that she's supposed to be like able the first case lawyers. I don't know if I do. I don't know if this is particularly high profile. It also Grossberg Ice video 4 hours 48 minutes.
You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict.
But I can't. I just can't say it. I mean, yes, her first case is a doozy. We'll get there.
If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Fay, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you. I'll represent you to the very end.
I guess this one is because all crime is murder in Phoenix Wright world. There's a lot of murder in these games, it's true. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute.
Mr. Wright.
I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further...
I did it. I admit it. I pushed him.
Objections up to 6.
It's my fault. My fault. Doug Swallow is dead.
Phoenix Wright did murder? Well, that girl, you shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
Well, I'm telling you for your sake. You continue to see her. It's going to be bad news.
You're lying.
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl.
Also, I guess he's British now, but I did this voice last time, so...
Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
What you say? Winston Payne, why are you looking nervous right now?
What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, I'm absolutely convinced you are.
Please, please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you? Still can't believe it. You really did push the victim. The way I tried watching that show Suits. I hate when everything hinges on their pro tag having a photographic memory to hand wave their precocity. Huh. I've never seen or even heard about a show called Suits, but having a photographic memory, that seems like it's rife to having some issues, maybe.
It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
When did this game first come out? Trials. No, I'm sorry. I need to. Over there in 2004. And I think this one didn't have the same turnaround the other ones did. Is this game single because it's being very dateable? I mean, I guess... Unless they... Nah, it's not like they would have retranslated any of these games, right? That'd be a waste of money. Just use the old ones. Sorry, I just completely sidetracked me. When I pushed the victim... That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. Sidetracked all of us. Oh, okay, this is the first one. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. The Mega only got a 2007 though. I could have sworn Harlem Shake was still after that, but I wasn't admittedly on top of stupid public trends then, so. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that.
Simple explanation indeed.
Spear relocalization. That makes no sense, though. That's so weird.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there'd been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Why is doofus spelled like that? Is that how you spell doofus? I thought it was with 2 O's. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. That looked like that's a narrative equivalent of Stunlock. The OG dance is from the 80s, though. This is true. That must be what it's in reference to. And then, that's heretical spelling. Doufou sounds French. What dudes, but yeah. Oh, man.
That's right. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. Finn's got accused of the murder here. He was Mia's assistant. Does that make him a Maya? Or do we need to see him actively assist the thing? We have discussed this before, haven't we, Katie? And this does. Now he's a Larry right now. This is true a little bit, yeah. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. When I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He's doing art right now, not law. Rather, I see. He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl.
Is that all?
Yup.
Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy. You're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do? Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy just said what he wanted to say to me. Then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. Just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen. Right, there was nothing like that at all. Think one day Pearl will be a Maya. Don't torture Chris like that. Or one day the judge becomes a Maya.
But is it possible that you merely overlooked it?
Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt.
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony witness.
You can't wait this out, see why you couldn't be a Maya one day, I believe. It is kind of weird how they... Because they let you see Pearl. And the DLC case for 5, right? But you would think they would actually give her a proper chance to be a Maya. Like that, how are you going to do that? Like, I think the reason why Pearl doesn't get to be a Maya is because they've been so... I mean, grown up. She's still a teenager, but it's close enough, I guess. They've been so reluctant to bring back the age-up version of the cast. Like, I've always complained, I still will complain, I want to see goddamn Gumshoe. I want to know he's okay. Because the way he lives, he might not be okay. We know he's okay. He gets mentioned very obliquely in the 5th game. Maybe also in the 6th game. But they bring back Maya in the 6th game, so like you can't have Pearl be a Maya when you need to bring back the OG Maya. That moment I heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise? What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? Well, I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was.
Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
You're not qualified to decide that.
Ooh, objection counter.
What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. feel like Gumshoe's like a cockroach. His life sucks, sure, but he's too resilient for that to hurt him. I could see that. Although, Gumshoe's probably devolved a sentient Philly cheesesteak. Let's ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack? Ha! Could it have been? Yes. Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard.
That umbrella, huh? Did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Fucking Christ, Phoenix. He's dead. I mean, I know you pushed him over, which does say a lot about how pathetic he is, but Christ. Detective Gumshoe woke one morning from uneasy dreams. He found himself transformed in his bed into a cheesesteak sandwich. If he wasn't dead before, that insult did it. Oh, man. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Phoenix's secret finisher dead. But was Gavin because of an umbrella?
That's right. What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Well, I mean, is it supposed to be... I guess so. It's the fact that he must have moved if he fell on it, right? Of course it's important. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony.
How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. Vital. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. And you are certain of this? Gossip matter. Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, it hadn't been under him. I was planning on borrowing it for myself. Holy shit. So Phoenix is saying here, not only did he shove this guy down, but if the dude hadn't fallen on his umbrella, he would have just taken it from him. What is this weirdly aggressive third-year art student college Phoenix? The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love.
Oof, my stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia.
I'm so sorry.
I'll tell you all with your testimony, witness.
Maybe Hobo Phoenix Wright has more basis than I thought. Apparently. He at least had a rude era. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. After you shoved the victim, you leave the scene right away. Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious.
You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition.
Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime?
Nope, nobody.
Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier?
In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from the testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Right now I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. Alright. Okay, fell on top of his cheap umbrella. That cheap umbrella that he is not on top of in this picture. Oh, not the thing I want to click. Click on this one. 8. God, he really is Larry. Yeah, I mean, look. Eventually he will more platonically pine for Miles, but until then... Like, to be clear, this is the girl that is supposedly his girlfriend. Although I don't think we've ever seen, actually. Although Larry always says he's trying to date supermodels, so presumably they're supposed to be pretty girls. I don't think we ever see that, though. Somebody smells, it's the butts. When somebody impales, it's the phoenix. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. Ooh.
No.
Order. The victim? He moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was connected by the police at the crime scene.
I want it presented as evidence immediately.
Umbrella added to the court record.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind.
Owned by the victim. Found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. Because I didn't recognize it was Mia when I stopped by. She's too bunned up. This is fair. We don't have her thing here, though, but she's also kind of younger, too. Although she's at the age where that growing should be done, but still. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. Already with the objections, and this is just the first one. DOA rules. Max out H for endowment. I know this matter of the umbrella. Wow.
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the small step remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No.
I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Phoenix's testimony added to the court record.
Well done, Mia.
We have this other one here. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened.
Mr. Payne, what are you talking about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess. You have another witness.
Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Bad news. You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious.
What do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
April 11th, 11:52 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 3. Miss Faye, sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. Damn! He's in full-blown denial about Miles who? Lies. Oh god, I can only imagine all the young Fujos who are really starting to get into this. And this third game starts with this. They must have been immediately incensed. Like, who is this bitch? The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. This sentence. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, well, this answers that question. Apparently, being a lawyer was always going to be his side hustle. He wanted to have a career in art, though. It's not a time where Phoenix makes tinker clocks and does custom kicks to Santa. Ah. Man. Oh boy. One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. Just going to spend 4 plus years and hundreds of thousands of dollars in schooling on a side hustle. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She'd been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. Before she gave it to me, she said, "I want you to carry this."
Don't you give it to you as a present, my son?
This darling little ball is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. Makes me so happy I show it to everyone I meet. Maybe that's why he can run his art agency. He's secretly a savant artist and makes mad cash that way. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. That was present borrowed from Phoenix Wright. A small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met shows it to everyone. Anyway. Okay. Although it's funny to think that Mia is just angry about not getting laid or anything, I am now fully cognizant of why she is in fact beating up Grossberg every time Phoenix talks about being a cutesy couple. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne, 8 months ago, wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you? This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? Newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse? Murder?
What are you doing there? Not by saying that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases, am I correct?
Newspaper clipping added to the court record. Article from 8/28, almost 8 months ago. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I feel like Grossberg's always been a real bro, but I can't remember if he's betrayed us in another game. He hasn't, right? Well, not betrayed, but he was being blackmailed to not help us solve Mia's murder. Yeah, what Katie said right there. You might have a hard time remembering this, but there was Red White, the CEO of Blue Corp. He was the one that had that real, like, the big smile, the, like, lavender hair. He would do the thing with rings, because he was supposed to be a rich CEO. Grossberg also had that painting that he took from him, because he was an asshole. Alright, let's look at this article.
Murder in the courthouse. Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim.
Prickles guy if he ate his own product. 19-year-old female college student, you say? I need to finish this myself.
But yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, but I'll go and have a look at the downstairs reading room, see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. To be continued. Okay. If I had... Could I start like a half hour late? Nah, I would have probably been pushing it because I have to assume this second part of this trial takes longer. I'm just going to wrap it up a little bit early. Which is fine. Ease back into things, right? Oh, Phoenix. This is such... The shape of this... So, Phoenix is a third-year art student at college. He is studying to be a lawyer on the side. He encountered this dude called Doug Swallow and called him cheap and frail after shoving him down and would have taken his umbrella. And for 8 months now, he's been dating this girl who gave him this heart necklace and has every single time they've met afterward asked for it back. And he's never given it back to her. Which, like... I don't... Did he just assume she was joking every time she's asked? Like, oh, Dolly, my sweet Dolly, why do you want your gift from me back? I love you. You're so silly. Moves on. I don't know. Turn about bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. But yes. I'm sure we're going to find out that actually this is all a big misunderstanding. Not only is Phoenix innocent, but there's nothing wrong with a character called Dahlia Hawthorne. That would be crazy. But anyways, it was nice to get back to streaming. Not think about things for a little bit. This was not. I was planning on getting back to this to finish it off in like a few games, but I wanted the nostalgia drip, and it's been good for that. There's always some goofy things here in these games. But for now, I'm going to wrap up here, wrap up early. I think we'll be able to finish this part tomorrow. Because there's no way it's going to be too long, but it'd go on too long here. So thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. Good night.